So Christkindlmarket started in Germany and Austria 750 years ago. And it's an extension of the days when villagers would need to go to the market every day to get their horses shoed, to get candles, socks. And those days were extended towards the holidays. And that's where we have the Christkindlmarket. I think we're a little unique in that we're a nonprofit. So we come at festival production from a very different angle. It's more about partnerships, organizations that can have added value in partnering with us. Festival directors are going to manage both the operational side of the festival production and also the marketing side. So that's anywhere from managing volunteers, managing our event management team, to executing on the entire annual timeline, getting vendors, booking performers.
So I have been involved with the Christkindlmarket since inception 8 years ago. I met Suzanne, we got talking, and having a little bit of German heritage, I wanted to just learn more and get involved and bring something fun and unique to Des Moines. Our team heats up all the Glühwein, which is the mulled hot wine, which is very traditional for German markets. So we do get that imported from Germany. And so our staff on the back end, we heat it all up. We make the Kinder Punch, which is the hot apple cider. And then we do have hot cocoa as well that we started serving this year. On the other side of it, we have beer. And we work really hard at getting imports, German beers. We'd like to have at least 4 volunteers for each beverage station that we have. And we have about 4 to 5 shifts for each of that. So we have the biggest amount of volunteers for the serving stations.
Annually, we have between 250 and 275 volunteers who show up day of to serve the mulled wine, set up the huts, work in our store. We've tripled in size from our first year in 2016. We have 21 huts, we have 11 food trucks, and we have 6 demonstrators.
It's been really great this year. We have some nonprofits that kind of man one station for the entire day, and that's been really helpful and is a good way for them to get their name out and help give back.
We, last year, had about 70,000 people come through our market, which makes us the second largest festival of our kind in the U.S. based on average daily attendance, second only to Chicago's Dali Plaza. And it's striking because we're a nonprofit. We don't have the cash flow that a lot of large production festivals have in the United States. So we're very proud of what we're able to produce. And like I said, we really rely on partnerships, donations. We are pleased to grow at a rate that is that we can do and still maintain a very great product. We're already making notes on what we like, what we don't like, where we want to have the festival. And so it's a continuous improvement process. And so we're already lining up performers who want to book up to 2 years in advance, vendors who want to schedule out their holiday exhibition schedule. So we're continuously improving. Yeah, we have our follow-up debrief meeting the week after.
As a site leader, we work, we end this market in December. We start planning again for the next year in January. So it takes a lot of planning and collaboration. We always try to improve things from year to year.
It might surprise people how much we rely on ourselves and how much ownership and pride we take in producing this to get it all up. Folks that go to different festivals around the United States may not know the amount of support that's received by their city, state, and local governments. We would love to enjoy those partnerships. Instead, we rely on ourselves and we take ownership of all of our areas.
As we continue to grow in the beverages, things that we look at is like crowning some German import beer. Again, that's not something that you can get just at a local grocery store. It's not as common. And then continuing to offer different variety of beverages for children as well. We've expanded to hot cocoa this year and have a little bit of coffee, but maybe expanding that too, just to give a little bit more variety and make it more enjoyable for everyone. Each year we have a commemorative mug that we serve the hot beverages in, and so it looks like a little stocking. And each year that changes, and then we have some other that are just kind of themed to make it a little bit fun, but That's very traditional in Germany at the Christkindlmarkets, and so you can kind of build a collection over the years.
It might surprise folks that this is not my full-time job. So part-time festival director, it's slower in the front end of the year and it ramps up as we get closer, but it is an annual process to produce it. It takes a lot of manpower, a lot of thought goes into this to be able to, showcase this for our community. We are a product of the Iowa European Cultural Connection, and its mission is to connect Iowans with European traditions, language learning, and cultural experiences. So we really want to produce something as authentic as possible. I've lived in Germany. A number of our management team have lived in Germany, Austria, or have gone to other Christkindlmarkets. And so we're bringing that enthusiasm and authenticity to this experience that everybody gets to enjoy. All of our vendors apply in February, and it's a very curated process. We are looking for vendors who are typically seen, their products are typically seen at Christkindlmarkets, and we love to promote and support the heritage crafts. So we have tinsmiths, glass blowers, wood carvers, and those types of vendors are who we typically accept into our Christkindlmarket. My favorite part is consistently the teamwork. Other people might say it's the food. The food's wonderful. It might be the glühwein. I am so proud of being able to work with this team. Some people have been with us for 8-10 years in the ideation phase. And it's really great to see the fellowship, camaraderie, ideas, enthusiasm that everybody brings to the table, which makes my job as festival director really easy. I often say I don't really do much, or you don't need me today, because everybody just takes such great pride and ownership of what they do. So they really make it easy.
The people is my favorite part of this market. Just the volunteers are great to work with. My team on the CDM it's all volunteer based. We've become a really close-knit family. So working with them is always something I look forward to year after year. A specific memory I have at the Christmas market is just working in Yuletide Hall with the music in the back and just the hustle and bustle of, working at the glühwein station or pouring beer, and just the energy of everyone here at the market it's fun and exciting. And
yeah, I would encourage everybody to come down for a day, come down for multiple days, come hungry, come with friends, try so many new things, try things that you might not otherwise be interested in eating, and share with other people. Yeah, my hope is that people, their minds are open to new things. They support our local artisans and heritage crafters and keep them in business.
I am the site leader for the nonprofit trees. So we have a silent auction here where we have nonprofits come and decorate trees. So the market has been around since 2016, and I have been in charge of the silent auction since the beginning. The only year we didn't have the nonprofit trees was in 2020 because we didn't have safe guidelines to be able to put the trees together for all of our groups to come in. So the thing that the nonprofits like most about being a part of our silent auction is the exposure into the community. Some of these are really niche nonprofits, and they don't have a lot of exposure outside of people looking specifically for them. So it's really about getting out there, having their nonprofit be more accessible to people. They also get to make a little bit of money around the holidays, and a lot of nonprofits can use that extra funding right at the end of the year.
So the Kinder Corner is a staple here at Christkindlmarket Des Moines, and it is an area where families, kids of all ages can come and do all sorts of different crafts. We rotate out throughout the weekend. We've got games, all sorts of stuff.
Our CARES team, every year for the last 6 years, has taken on the charge of getting all these kits ready for the kids. So a couple weeks ago, we got together and packed all the kits, got all the materials prepared, and let the volunteers at the office put those together, and then we'll have volunteers on site all weekend helping out with the tent.
So this year we have our backdrop like we usually do, as well as some photo props that people can utilize with that. We've got crafts like ornament making. We've got a new wreath making activity this year. We've also got games like Tin Can Alley, Coconut Shine, things like that.
And kids can make little Christmas toys and color different pictures and do those things for their trees too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and one of the most popular crafts is definitely the Christmas cracker. And that's your what you see people doing like on Christmas Day or New Year's even, where you pull really hard and it pops and stuff flies out. Well, we have all the supplies so kids can make their own here.
So the silent auction begins as soon as the market starts on Thursday and it ends at 5 p.m. on Sunday. People can bid via a text link or on our website that we have specifically dedicated to the nonprofit trees. They start at $70 and you bid in $5 increments. And when the auction closes at 5, the winning bidder gets everything, the tree and everything on it and anything that was decorating around the bottom. I organize the entire silent auction. I'm a committee of one, so if anyone would like to join, I always welcome that. What we do is we have a participation sign up that starts in August. Once all the 12 trees are filled, then we start doing blog posts to highlight each of our organizations starting in October, and that goes on our Christkindlmarket website. And then in November or December, depending on when it is, that Wednesday before the market starts, our nonprofits come in and they decorate their trees. And then they're here for the entire duration of the market.
I really like when the kids get excited about a craft, especially one that I'm like not sure about including, and then they like go nuts for it. And I'm like, all right, I guess that was a good idea. We'll keep doing that one.
We really enjoy working with kids and helping kids have new opportunities and all the things that we do as volunteers across the territory and across the city. And this is just very unique. The organizers of this event, the committee that does it, they make it easy, they make it fun, and our folks always have a great time. I just get repeat volunteers every year, so we really enjoy being involved in the market.
The members that do volunteer every year that I've now gotten to know, even though I don't work at Mid-American Energy, that are willing to keep coming back out and hang out in typically cold Iowa weather, do crafts with kids, and hopefully, enjoy themselves too. And it's not just Mid-American that's volunteering, it's a volunteer-run operation. And we're really proud of the things we've been able to accomplish and want to keep accomplishing.
So over our years from 2016 till now, we've had over 42 nonprofits throughout Iowa be able to participate. Every year it's a mix of people returning and new nonprofits. So it's really nice to see that the word has spread and get new nonprofits in here to get exposure out in this community as well. So we have one nonprofit that has been with us for the entire 7 years that we've had trees being decorated, and that's the Daughters of Norway. So we have several cultural nonprofits, the Sons of Norway, the Danish Brotherhood, the Danish Sisterhood has decorated before. This year we have the Italian American Cultural Center of Iowa that will be decorating. And then we also have other organizations such as Hope Animal Rescue, we have Can Do Cancer, we have the AFS International, which hosts exchange students from other countries in Iowa.
There's a nonprofit behind Christkindlmarket Des Moines, and that's the Iowa European Cultural Connection. And they're responsible for putting on this event as well as some different European culture related activities around the state, mostly centered here in the Des Moines metro area. But it was started by a bunch of volunteers that had been to Christmas markets in the past, really enjoyed them, and wanted to bring it here to Des Moines.
I love everything about the market. I used to live in Switzerland, and so we used to visit Christmas markets, traditional German Christmas markets in Germany and in Switzerland. And it was when we moved back in 2015, this was the perfect opportunity for us to keep reliving that magic that we had over in Europe.
I like when it gets dark and all the lights are on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The nighttime is a great time to be here, and it's just a neat environment, something you won't find around the city very often. Trees they have in the tent that you can bid on. That's always really, really cool to see how people have decorated them differently. A lot of them have the European heritage tint to them. They'll take on something from the country. But I also always like the sausage and the bratwurst too.
Yeah. And then of course there's the Glühwein and the Kinder Punch. So it's nice to have a warm drink to walk around and keep you warm.
I do enjoy indulging in a Glühwein or two while I'm on site. That's pretty tasty, and this is the only place that I really have that during the holiday season.
Well, I just encourage everybody to experience this market. This is, they are around the country, but this is growing every year. It's a neat environment, and we really hope people will enjoy it. It's a really nice thing for our city.
name's Julie Cullinan. I'm the owner of Sugar Plums Cakes and Confections. I'm based out of Altoona, Iowa. Typically throughout the year, I specialize in cakes for birthday cakes, graduations, weddings, and such. But just for the Christkindlmarket, we specialize in making made from scratch German specialty gingerbreads and cookies. A lot of the things that we bake for the market, like our best sellers, are the Lebkuchen, which is a soft gingerbread cookie, and then our Pfeffernuss, which is a crisp gingerbread, a little spicier. We also have Spritz cookies, Springerle, so we have some anise candy, some Stollen this year for the first time, and then also I always have my white almond cupcakes and the gingerbread cupcakes. We've been here at the Christkindlmarket for 7 years. The Christkindlmarket's been going on for 8. The first year we attended just as guests and noticed that they didn't have any gingerbread and thought you just couldn't have a German Christmas market, a Christkindlmarket, without some gingerbread. So we thought that was something that we could help and contribute to the market. So we've been here since then.
My name is Carl Schmidt. I'm the owner of Dakota Tin Works, and I'm from Estelline, South Dakota. I've been doing this, this will be my 9th year doing tinsmithing. I used to have a different career, and now I'm doing something more creative. And the kind of work that I do is traditional tinsmithing like they would have done in the 19th century. And I use a lot of antique tools in the process of doing that. So part of what I make is reproductions. So things like lanterns and cups and plates and things like that for people who do living history. But I also do a lot of tin artwares. So I have a lot of ornaments and tinsel and decorative things that people can use at Christmas time. They're all my own designs, and I use those sheet metals to turn them into ornaments, and I use a lot of antique tools in the process of doing that. I make a lot of tinsel, which is, or sometimes people call them icicles. They're little twisted bits of metal that you can hang on the tree, and they're very shiny, and so that's a big seller here. Well, I have a friend who's a tinsmith, and I met him about 15 years ago at an arts festival up in South Dakota, and I was fascinated by the kind of work that he did. So every year I'd go back and buy something from him, and then I had a bit of a career change about 8 years ago. I was an academic. I taught history for 32 years and decided that I wanted to do something different. And because I was in South Dakota and my wife already had a job that was pretty secure, I decided that I needed to do something completely different. So I had always been interested in tinsmithing, so I went and got some training. I went and trained with a guy named Bill McMillan out at historic Eastfield Village in New York, and went from there. I just started making things, buying tools. Most of my tools come from eBay, like everything else, and was able to sort of parlay that into a full-time job. There's a directory of traditional crafts people that is sponsored by Early American Life magazine, and it's a competitive process. So every year I enter some of my traditional work, and for the last 3 years I've been included in this directory. And the people who look at the work that I do, they're people who work in museums and other places like that. So it's all outside the magazine making these decisions. And there's only 3 tinsmiths in the country who are included in that directory for the last 3 years, and I was one of them.
By far, my very best seller for the market would be the Lebkuchen. That is the specialty cookie that I make that takes about a month to prepare. We make them, and then you have to let them rest for about a month so that they can get a little moisture and the flavors develop. And then we also sell a lot of the Pfeffernuss as the other gingerbread cookie. And we sample both of those things here at the Christkindlmarket, so everybody has an opportunity to try something new and learn about German gingerbreads. I do frequently get asked if we are German, if we're from Germany, and we are not. But my husband, when we were first married, he was stationed in Germany, and so we spent 3 years there. Our oldest daughter was born there, and then she also did a foreign exchange program there for a year, and then we also hosted a foreign exchange student from Germany for a year. So we've just, through the years, developed lots of friends who almost feel like family over there in Germany.
Suzanne Hull, who is the executive director of the festival, she contacted me via email and asked me, this was back in 2017, if I would be interested in participating in this. And the market had just started the year before in 2016. And so I was interested in joining them, and it seemed like an exciting opportunity. So We've been part of the festival ever since. I bring a lot of experience to making them. We kind of joke with people about, well, it's either 15 minutes or 8 years. It sort of depends on what it is. So sometimes it goes pretty quickly, but it's only because I know how to make it, right? And there's a process involved. Usually, I have to think about how to make something, and then I test it out, and that takes a while. And there's probably different prototypes that come out of it, and then eventually I come up with a final product. So that can take sometimes weeks. But if I was just sitting down and making an ornament, I could probably make one in less than 10 minutes.
How long do I spend for this specific event? Probably it's kind of a year-long process because there's a lot of behind the scenes things that you might not notice. Like we have to order labels, we have to get the packaging ready, we have to order in things from Germany, the Oblaten, the German Christmas ornaments. Those take quite a while to get here. And then just the baking, the preparing, and a lot of this stuff has to happen at the very last minute so that we can offer a fresh product to people. So we're trying to keep it as tasty and delicious as we can, but also produce as much as we can too. We stay so busy creating the Lebkuchen and the Pfeffernuss, like those are our standbys. And then we do, add some new things each year, but for the most part, our time has to go to making those things that are the best sellers. I make as much as I possibly can of the Lebkuchen, and I sell out every year. And I continue to make more, and then I still sell out every year. And I think as time goes by, just more people are starting to understand what it is and crave it and enjoy it, so they come back for more. It is so busy. I don't even know the numbers. I mean, I think last year we had about 70,000 people come through here. I hope they all stop by Sugar Plums and buy something.
Not everybody buys something, but we get certainly hundreds of customers every day. Lots of people wander by, and many of them stop and buy things from us. So this is actually our biggest event of the year. So we anticipate really good sales and lots of people that come by. I have a lot of people who follow us on Facebook, so every time I create some kind of new ornament or item, I get lots of positive feedback from people who have been checking it out in advance, and they often tell me that when they stop by. My favorite part of the market is just the sort of ambiance. I mean, there's lots of people here, everybody's having a good time. It's very festive. People seem excited to be here, and there's lots of things to see and do here. And so it has a good vibe, I think, and I enjoy that a lot. I hope to apply every year and be accepted every year to come here as long as they run the festival. So, every year it gets bigger and better, and, it's a very positive thing for us financially, to be honest. And so I'm always happy to come back. And I feel like, there's a sort of Christmas market family here, and we all definitely feel part of that.
I love the Christkindlmarket, and I would just like to say it is a great time for everybody. You can bring families down. They have a craft area for children. There's lots of good foods to try, which is also fun for young people to just try something new. And older people like myself too. We like to try new things. There's lots of handmade crafts. I think that they are very particular in who they select to participate in the Christkindlmarket. And it's just nice to see so many things that are so thoughtfully created for the people of Des Moines to come out and enjoy this holiday event.